2, 3, 4. I count mountains. 1, 2, 3. Counter, you're a cool thing. Count mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count mountains. 1, 2, 3. Counter, you're a cool thing. Count mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count mountains. 1, 2, 3. Counter, you're a cool thing. Count mountains. Days they reset. I'm upset. Settle down. She's drowning in people, always on the way back. There where I am, yeah, I have a plan to flee. She plays the piano. shoot, knife, move, groove, grip, trick, tap, talk, track, track, bring, land, creep, land, feed, move, scram, hug, drag, drag, slap, back, play, drag, back, what, step, stick, combo, house, shoot, knife, move, groove, grip, trick, tap, talk, track, track. 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 Are we supposed to say hi to the people? Like, hello Bandcamp. Thanks for being online today. Or any day. Can you watch it more than once? Okay, so, alright. She was wearing gold, so tell me something, I haven't been told true life. She was wearing gold, so tell me something, I haven't been told true life. You don't even grasp what's it burn. You won't even ask a question. Deep down, understand. Bodies talk a shit for me. It's dirt, bones, stolen land. Swallow slowly, several parts. You don't even grasp what's it burn. You won't even ask a question. Heaven, can I make it recreated, bend and shape it till it ends again, again. She was wearing gold, so tell me something, I haven't been told true life. Tail. Deep down underground, I feel the world so clearly now. Sky black attitude, I swear to God, I swear to you. Love is right around the curve, but did you know how much it hurts before I came around? Before the line, the path, the course. Mom sent me money, now I'm gonna make it somehow. I need another chance. Mom sent me money, now I'm gonna make it somehow. Your baby loves to dance. True life. She was wearing gold, so tell me something, I haven't been told true life. You don't even grasp what's it burn. You won't even ask a question. She was wearing gold, so tell me something, I haven't been told true life. You don't even grasp what's it thank you. This was funny and weird.
Hi, how are you guys going? How is everything?
Oh, it's good. It's
Great.
how are
Good and
you?
great. What's up, John?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. How have the past couple of months been? You've been touring like more than you've ever toured, right?
Yeah, we're coming back actually. We're gonna be in London on Saturday.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, we can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Just addicted to that kind of globe-trotting
Can't wait.
lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm addicted to getting miles. Um I'm
Are you
trying to
like platinum status yet?
No, I just started, so I'm like, we gotta keep going. I gotta get a free flight for when we stop going on tour. I can actually like go somewhere.
Where are you gonna go?
It depends how many miles I have. I might only be able to go to like Cincinnati.
That's pretty
Pretty cool.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to Cincinnati. I like it there.
For free, I'd go anywhere.
That's true.
So I guess we're here to talk about your new record, Everyone's Crushed, which is so incredible. I want to start by I just got my copy in the mail today.
Oh, hey.
Um, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I want to talk about this amazing cover up by Nicole Rifkin. Can you tell me a bit about the concept behind the kind of like espionage comic type thing that's going on?
I think the original idea was for it to be like a Western movie poster, and then it kind of got more dialed in from there.
Yeah, it was a Western movie poster, and then we wanted it to be sort of, but obviously, like, we're neither, like, I'm not from cowboy country, so we were like, we should probably have it be set more in like the urban sprawl. I can't remember why you're in a suit though. I think it's
You
because I was
you told me to
wearing,
wear a suit. That's
yeah,
all I remember.
I was gonna wear all jeans. So then I guess it just made sense for Nate to wear a suit. It was supposed to be like Paris, Texas vibes. I went to a crazy mall.
The American
Yeah,
Dream
the
Mall.
American Dream Mall in New Jersey. Um, and then yeah, then we sent photos to Nicole, and she just kind of smashed it out of the park. Um, and also I'd seen that one album cover
Pink Floyd.
by Pink
Should I
Floyd.
close the window?
Yeah, maybe.
There's all sorts of stuff going on outside my house today.
Anyways, I saw the album cover Wish You Were Here. Or wait, no, the album cover that that song is on. What album was it called? Wish You Were Here?
Wish you were here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also didn't never knew that song was by them. I heard that song in a bar and I was like, who is this? And it turns out it was Pink Floyd. And I was like, they have songs that I like. I never knew that. But the one where they're like shaking hands and the one guy's on fire, I was like, this photo was so awesome. Um, then I guess we kind of ripped that off.
Just one of many classic rock references on this album, I guess. Do you want to, can you talk me through the kind of the other two big ones that are on this record?
Oh yeah, the Sting. Also, when we were writing Barley, we were just like writing the verse part, and it ended with Fields of Gold, and they was like, "Have you ever?" Oh, he was just like, "Oh, like the Sting song," and I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So then you know what? We listened to the cover of it.
By Ava Cassidy.
Yeah,
So I
and
grew up with that CD in a car. I didn't
yeah.
know it was a Sting song until a long time later. Until a long time.
And then and we also listened to the Sting version. And then while we were listening to the Sting version, we were like, what if we just took all the words, not all of them, but enough words, not enough words for it to be plagiarism, and then just like put them back into what we had written, and then it actually made it so much better.
The idea was like if Sting ever heard that song, he would get really frustrated that he couldn't sue us. That was the goal.
Yeah.
Was to like annoy Sting on the off chance that he yeah. Like if he hears it somewhere, it'll just be like, wait, and then he'll like Shazam it and look up the lyrics and be like, I can't wait to sue these people, but then realize that he can't.
Because they're
Because
not.
he like loves to sue people. That's like his whole thing.
Well, it's like maybe it's like ask, believe, receive. You know, like you talk about it enough, maybe he'll finally sue you. I'll try and sue you. You know,
Yeah.
you just put it out into the world enough.
I feel like we talk about how we did, but it's like two words.
They're
know,
never
like
any like there aren't actually any phrases. They're all just like common words, but they just all happen to be used in both songs.
Yeah, and then we did name it Barley.
Kind of
that's
yeah.
The fields of gold he's referencing are barley fields.
And then the kind of would be Neil Young reference, or it is a Neil Young reference, but can you tell me a bit about how
that's kind of the reference to the guy, not the song.
Yeah, it's a reference to how he didn't let us use this song. I think it was Cinnamon Girl. Like,
yeah,
it was Mom, let me sing, or no, Mom send me money now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make
Mom, let me sing your song.
I need another chance. Mom, send me money now. I'm gonna make it somehow. Your baby loves to dance. And now it's
Neil, let me sing your song. It's been this way for so long. Because like that was the last thing that got changed on the album. Was we got hit up one day and they were just like, Neil Young's lawyers say you can't do this, and they hate you.
They hate the song. Neil Young hates the song.
They hate our band. They hate our band name. They hate both of our person names.
Anyways, yeah, so we had to change that. But it actually worked out really well because now it's just Neil, let me sing your song.
Yeah, in a weird way, it makes more sense. Almost.
Your buddy loves to dance.
Your buddy loves to dance. Because it's not like it wasn't that big a deal because that song wasn't exactly screaming like Cinnamon Girl interpolation.
I like it.
It was just the only idea that I came up with at the time. That was the only like idea for. I had that, and I was like, Rachel, I want this to be like short skirt, long jacket, and that was like the entirety of my contribution to the vocals in that song.
Do you think the final product feels like short skirt, long jacket to you?
If Cake was like
maybe
like listening to Korn, maybe. Cake had been. I mean, if Cake had been like a Slipknot fan, I think that we got close
in a roundabout way.
Like. And that's all you can really hope for.
But part of the Cake thing is because they're trumpets. That's the thing. The things that sound like guitars are actually trumpet samples, and that's how I got to the Cake thing. Because the band leader for Cake is actually the trumpet player. So that's.
Wait, there's no guitars on that song?
There are some, but they're really quiet. Like the main things that sound like guitars are distorted trumpets.
What percentage of your process would you say is this kind of like feedback loop of like references of like, okay, I'm using these samples, then oh wait, that reminds me of this, and then oh, like can we do this, and then what percentage of your process would you say kind of operates in that cycle?
A lot. I don't know, the writing process for the music is almost like, for this album it was almost like improvisational. Like I'll the music was like written really fast. Like the last album Structure, it was like the songs all got written over a really long period of time, and most of what got written ended up on the album. Whereas this was kind of the opposite. Everything was written really quickly, but like 5% of what got written ended up on the album. So it was like, I guess, generally train of thought, which lends itself to that kind of like, referential thing where you just like, this reminds me of this, which reminds me of this, which reminds me of this. And then that's how you end up with a Cake / Neil Young song that doesn't sound like either of those things.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
totally.
It's like 20 references deep. So it's just like something else.
After Structure, where were you left in terms of like where you wanted to go after that, or like if at all, like if it was that clear path from that record to this one?
Um, when we finished Structure, I thought it was really bad. I didn't like it. Um, and I think I think for me, it was, I like Structure now. I kind of like see for what it is, but this album was kind of like, I want to make music that I like more, or I don't know.
I feel like you were just like, I want to make the anti-structure.
I guess that was it. I was like, I want to make something that's not like this at all. And originally it was supposed to be that in kind of like a literal way. Like instead of being two halves that matched, the idea was for it to be two halves that completely didn't match and like could have been made by different bands. And the core of the album as it came up, open through Remember Not My Name, tracks 4 through 7 are actually that was like a completed half of the album, like as it was originally intended to be. There was going to be that, and then like a more pop driven half. But every time we try to make pop music, it gets all kind of like fucked up, and that idea just kind of like went out of the window. And then we were thinking about those 4 songs being a standalone EP for a little while. And then just kind of ended up padding it with some other things, some of which had been lying around, and Out There was like written entirely after that, but everything else predates those 4 songs, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was like we had the 4 songs, then we had Barley,
Yeah.
and then you found by my product,
Yeah, both those
which were
those are
from the
actually,
same
those
time.
instrumentals are the oldest things on the album.
But then
And then Structure is like,
it was released as like a snippet of like a much larger sound art thing, and then 14 was released. It had already been out, but nobody heard
we
it.
took it down.
So yeah,
Yeah.
nobody knew. And then all of a sudden we had a whole album.
What else is that it? Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, we'd actually been working on a bunch of covers at the time. Like we had like a whole cover album that was
They'll probably never come out as an album. Some of the songs are on compilations.
yeah, but it was like we had 2 Sheryl Crow songs, Chumbawamba,
311.
311, which we sent to one of the guys in 311,
Yeah.
and then we never heard anything back.
That's
So
devastating.
and then yeah, and then we'd like I forget why we decided to. I feel like we didn't have an album. We just had a bunch of songs, and then all of a sudden
It came together really quickly.
you had the whole album.
Because there were, yeah, like,
but also then we also had a whole cover album the same like week.
and we also like we finalized the vocal, like Barley and Buy My Product didn't have vocals until we were like putting together the album. Like those vocals were recorded after the 4 songs.
Though I think we recorded Barley though before we recorded Buy My Product.
We recorded those the same week.
I don't think so because I was in Chicago. We had already recorded Barley.
Had we?
Yeah, because when I came back, we recorded Buy My Product because it was like a sample.
Or maybe it was Buy My Product and Out There that we recorded the vocals for at the same
probably.
time.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember when this album.
It was mostly 2021. Like the tracks for Barley and Buy My Product were from like February 2020.
But we didn't record the vocals until
fall 2021 or late summer 2021. No, fall. Because like the 4 songs in the middle, that was summer 2021.
Yeah.
Or late, early summer, June, I think.
Can you tell me a bit about the album title? Because like I feel like, you know, maybe on its surface it speaks a kind of like it feels kind of like fatalistic, but like can you tell me a bit about where that comes from and why it kind of spoke to the two of you to kind of encompass the whole record?
Well, we had that pegged as the title of it like pretty much as soon as that song was made, because that was the title of the 4 songs when we were thinking it would maybe be an EP. I think as soon as we had that song, we just kind of like agreed on that without really talking about it.
No, you just said that was the name of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It just made sense. I don't know. I think because it's like kind of representative of, I think, the way that we would want people to interpret the album, that it can kind of mean like a handful of different things. Like it can mean like sad or like physically damaged, or it also has kind of like a druggy thing to it. So it just kind of made sense in a way that I don't think we ever really like over thought. It's just kind of like a ink blot of a phrase, in the same way that a lot of our songs are just kind of an ink blot of a song.
Yeah, for sure. I mean there's kind of like the whole record, there's kind of a thread of humor in a lot of lyrics, but at the same time it feels quite heavy, kind of like simultaneously. Can you tell me a bit about that kind of like push pull between those elements and the kind of interplay there and where that kind of thread of humor kind of comes from?
I think that's just kind of how we both work in terms of
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like intentionally. Like, I don't think we sit down and we're like, okay, what jokes are we gonna write? You know, I think it's just like in the process of making the album, there were just things that we thought were funny that made sense, but it wasn't necessarily even because we think other people think it's funny.
a lot of it was kind of like inside joke stuff. I think we were both kind of just going through a heavy time in our respective ways, and I think when you're dealing with a prolonged experience that is heavy, a way to cope with that is finding like items of light in the moment. So while the album is kind of like overall this like slightly darker thing, there are these kind of like, you know, pinpricks where the light shows through. Um, and I think that's just kind of like how both of us tend to like cope. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's it's the same coping style, which is to giggle about the small things and try not to get too weighed down by like the larger, heavier things.
It's like a big heavy rock and there are a bunch of little balloons trying to pull it up.
Or clowns.
Nate, you utilize serialism and microtonalism quite heavily on this record. Can you talk a little about incorporating those ideas into the production on this record?
Yeah. Whoa. Uh I think for the most part, I mean, that was something that I was just experimenting a lot with during the time that we happened to be putting this together. And I think for the most part, the way it's incorporated is kind of almost in like sample form, where it's almost like, because a lot of like how these songs are put together, they kind of,
Actually, sorry to cut you off. First, could you explain serialism and microtonalism, and then explain how you brought them into these songs?
microtonalism is just essentially when the scale is not divided into half steps the way that you're used to hearing. And I think for the most part on this album, when I did use microtonalism, it was in quarter tones. So every, you know, step between notes was essentially divided in half. So there are two notes for every note. So you end up with notes in between notes. Although there are some things like on 14, it's more of like a percentage based thing with some of the sounds in the background where it's not as exact as that. Because there are kind of two ways to go about it. You can kind of, you know, use like the quarter tone scale or like any other division, which is still like rigid, or you can kind of use ratios to create something that's a little more like organic. And then serialism, as I understand, I mean, it's kind of like my, it's not something I ever like really like formally studied. It was more just something that I like read about a lot. There's an artist called Jute Guy that I really love, who's like a microtonal black metal ambient artist who or would use like 24 sided die to generate um quarter tone series. And the idea with the series is that, well, serialism was designed as an idea to allow the creation of structured atonal music. So when you're making atonal music, there can't be a key, and the key is the tool by which compositions are generally, you know, structured and tethered to something. So the idea is to have a series of notes in which every note cycles through before any individual note is repeated. And that generally being applied to just the normal 12-step scale. So when you do that, you avoid the series being in any particular key because it's not more grounded to one note than another. And I think the rigid rule for serialism is that then everything in a piece has to be based on that series. And so I would kind of use that as a tool for generating things. I did a lot of things just using a random number generator, and just creating like tons and tons of stuff until something stuck out in particular. And obviously, while using that as a general strategy, like tons of rules were also broken. Like 14 is based on a series, but it's set to a particular scale in a particular key, which fundamentally kind of like violates the purpose of serialism in the first place. So I guess if there's an answer to how it was incorporated, that would be the wrong way, the incorrect way. But with 14 as the exception, generally, there'd be these kind of like mini serial compositions that I would then sample essentially to be part of a given song. The way all the music is made is essentially just like a remix of something that doesn't exist. There'll be an original idea, and then it just gets tweaked and tweaked and tweaked until there's nothing left of it, and it's kind of its own thing. And I've started doing more remixes recently, which made me kind of like realize that that's just kind of how the approach to making water from your eyes stuff generally happens anyway. So with a few exceptions, kind of like creating separate pieces and then sampling them in ways that allow them to function in more of a pop structure.
Cool. And then the record ends with this kind of punk track, Buy My Product. Rachel, can you talk a little about what that song kind of relates to for you, and the kind of making of that song?
Well, I had been at my parents' house and they have cable, so I was watching a lot of commercials. And there was a car commercial, and it had like, I forget what song it was, but I was like, oh, I love this song. Can't believe they're using it in a car commercial. I was like, we should get a song in a commercial. We should write a song specifically for use for a commercial. We'll call it Buy My Product. And then I texted Nate, and he was like, okay. And he was like, I found this like random like instrumental that I made like 8 months ago. So like, here it is. And then like I got back, and then I just said the phrase like there are no happy endings, there are only things that happen in my head. Because I believe that. Not that like there aren't happy things, but like it's like it's kind of like a fleeting state of mind. Like it's not like there are things that get like tied up nicely at the end of the day. Like it's usually just like kind of random sequences that like lead you to like be where you are. Yeah, and then we wrote the rest of the song. Like a lot of like there's like that one the verse that's just like clap your hands and like doing other like things that songs do.
Oh yeah, that was like a cha-cha thing.
Yeah,
like dance instructions.
Yeah, clap your hands, like what are the other words?
There's also a Sublime reference.
You're sublime.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. We actually there's Sublime, but then it's trade you what I got. I said remember that. I said remember that.
Right, and then we also just say Sublime.
Yeah, we also just say
yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, I think it was in my head. I mean, like obviously, no one in their right mind would ever put that in a commercial. But
I mean, you never know. You never know.
That'd be funny. It was kind of just like the idea of like, I don't know, like living in mass consumerism and like just making a song that's like really geared towards that, but is also like kind of depressing. not like depressing, but like realistic. Because I think like a lot of the ways people sell things is like to make things unrealistic, to be like life is gonna be awesome forever, like buy this. And so it's like life is like gonna happen. And like so like buy my product.
Yeah, it's also just kind of an earnest plug because we are trying to make this our job.
Yeah,
It'd
we
be
also
great if
really
people
would
would
love if
buy our product.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I think that brings us to the end of this Q&A, but the record releases on Friday, which I guess when this comes out will be that day. What are you doing to celebrate the album release? How are you going to kind of
we're
commemorate the
flying to
occasion?
England.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
A lovely long haul flight to just
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, that will probably make you feel like this is your job. So that's kind of like the best celebration of all in many
Yeah.
ways.
That's true. Yeah, we're flying to England and then but I guess that's at night, so we're not even really landing until the next day. Maybe we can make them play it on the plane.
Yeah, as soon as
Projecting a
it
plane
touches
full of
down.
people.
No, in the air. Like while we're still in the air, make them just like play it over the speakers.
What if we just take a boombox,
Oh, yeah, we could just bring a boombox as our carry-on.
walk up and down the aisle with a boombox on my shoulder?
Yeah, do like the thing in The Wedding Singer, except instead of like one song with Billy Idol, it's our entire album, and there's nobody famous, and we're not proposing to Drew Barrymore.
That could be like a really good quick way to like TikTok virality. Like I
Yeah,
hear that's a
also
really
get
big thing now. So
banned.
that could actually be a really good promotional kind of scheme.
We'll get banned from it flying to England.
Okay, well, thank you so much for chatting today and congratulations on the album release. Yeah, it's a really incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to see you. Will you be in England?
Well, I live here, so
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I've been here and I'll be here.
Okay, I'll let you up.
Will you? So do you? Yeah, are you doing anything on? When are you in London?
Saturday.
Oh, cool. Do you have free time? If you want to hang out,
I'm doing
I'm always here.
everything else. I have no plans. I have getting at like 6 a.m. And then we have
Oh,
to
cool.
stay awake because or else we're gonna be all messed
Our
up.
show's not that night, is it?
We're not doing anything that day.
Oh.
We're gonna maybe go to the Model Actors show. They're playing that festival.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to that festival. So
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
come.
Alright.
Yeah, please come. Yeah.
We'll
We'll
definitely
probably
try.
see you there then.
Alright.
Yeah, see you there.
Alright, see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah, see you on Saturday. Okay. Bye.